I have a bit of an overview of 5G media stream that people haven't seen yet. This is really just to give a bit of an idea of what we're talking about. There was a release 16. There's an idea. The idea is to have collaboration with MNOs and media service providers. People are very familiar. The basic concept is here you have an application service provider that makes use of the underlying technologies. There is also an attempt to basically do as minimum as possible on the media player and the application server, because that is where we want to reuse what exists in apps and functionalities in the distribution. The media session handler is now basically an envelope around this to benefit from 5G quality of service or network functionalities. Okay, and this is the basic call flow. You have basically a provisioning session that provisions the sessions. Then you might have M3D interactions between the AF and the AS. So the AS is a typical content hosting server. The AF is a typical application function that has control functionalities and connects to the rest of the TCP functionalities. Then you ingest content, right? So the ingest is basically covered here. Then you have the application communicates with the underlying client. Here, there's more detailed interfaces being exposed here. You get access to the service information from the AF, that is the interface M5, and you handle the session. The handling is basically something that runs in the background, and then you have the actual media streaming session. So you have a provision, an ingest, and a distribution session, streaming session. So this is for downlink, similar exists for uplink. And we created this nice animated diagram that is from Christmas, but it still works. So it's basically showing just this a bit how this done. So access information is given here, and then you get a JSON response. And then you're basically asking the player to play, and then you get into the regular streaming, asking an MPD, which is referenced here, and you get the responses here. And then this is the MPD. You request the segments, you get responses, and what you can do with the surrounding thing, you can monitor, support, and so on and so on. I skip Richard's Christmas greetings because they're not proper for the season. Maybe in a couple of weeks they are. Okay. Then we already have a couple of features. I'm not going to go through the details. We have hosting, network assistance, policies, consumption reporting, metrics reporting. That already exists. And then in release 17, for example, more have been added: data collection, reporting, exposure. And service URL was another extension, release 18. So we skip this. So that would basically cover the basics, and now we would dive into the individual topics. So I have a quick stop here again and see if people have questions, just to check here.